Why? Why? I don't understand you. Oh, but you're really cute. Don't be jealous. It's not all about you. It's not. Oh, you're having a laugh. No. Oh, why does your breath smell fishy? It's not even the cat, it's you. Down. Everyone. Down. No, no, no. Space. And now we have the guinea fowl. How? It's me! It's me! Go away! Hello again, my name's Kelly and you're watching The Global Bookworm. I decided to film one more video in the outback after all, and I'm filming it on the bench that I made, set into the wall that I also made. Hashtag dry stone walling. This video is going to be a tag video. I wasn't tagged, but I like the look of it. It is the reader problems tag, or the reading problems tag, and I very stupidly left the creator's name on a piece of paper usefully positioned in a house some 2 minutes yonder. So I will link the creator and their original video down below. And get started with this, question number 1. First up, you have 20,000 books on your TBR, not quite, but close. How in the world do you decide what to read next? For me, usually I know the sort of feeling I want to be left with and the kind of world I want to be engaged in. So I'll go by genre, and sometimes I'll go by writer. If I know that I want something poignant but uplifting, I might go contemporary, I might go Rainbow Rowell, or I might finally pick up some Stephanie Perkins. So really I go by blurb, and sometimes it's made easy because a long-awaited release has finally been released. The sun is setting. Please just don't go too low down. Bless you. Number 2. The end of the year is coming and you're so close and yet so far away from reaching your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? Of course I'm going to try to catch up. I think once you've invested a whole year, you cannot let it slide just through lack of effort in the last few weeks. And how do you do that? You read every thin book you can find. You read The Giver by Lois Lowry. You read The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. You read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. You read those tiny ones and you meet that book count somehow. Number 4. The covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? Why should I have to cope with that? That's just so unnecessary. Like, sometimes the change is for the better, in which case they need to release the previous books in that new improved cover. And I'll probably just buy them in the new and improved cover. And I probably didn't buy them in the shitty cover, to be honest, at least not in hardback. And if it's a change for the worse, I do not buy the subsequent books. I just pretend that it ended with the last book in which they looked pretty, and maybe I'll read it on my Kindle. That's how I cope by not coping with that. Number 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really do not like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? I don't really have a lot of, well, physically around me, I don't really have any bookish friends that I can talk to who read the same things that I do, but I can reach out across the internet if I need to. Goodreads has got to be the go-to. The dog is attempting to bury himself in shale. Goodreads, you can always find someone on Goodreads who shares your opinion, even if there are also a vast majority of people who seem to like said book. There was, what did I read? Sorry, I'm distracted by the dog. Existence by Abby Glines. I did mention it in a couple of videos and I'm still flabbergasted, but to each his own, honestly. Like, I can't be prescriptive about these things. If you like it, you read on. Number 6. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? I have cried in public while reading a book, but it wasn't bawling my eyes out. I think that time I sort of did the tissue gun, and this is the tissue gun. Let me show you. This is my Kindle. So you're reading something tragic, you choose, and you just hold this tissue and tilt your head to this side of your eye. Because if you do that, then everyone knows it's because you're crying. But if you do this, it just looks like you might be correcting your mascara. But the tears will absorb into the tissue, and then you can just do that. But if you're me, and you're blessed with long hair, and you really want to hide, just do that. Like, no one's going to know. Do you know? Can you even see what expression I'm making right now? Other than my cousin it impression. Too hot for that, too hot for that. God, who knew the sunset was going to be so flippin' hot? Number 7. I'm going to read this one. This one's quite long. A sequel of a book you loved just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, try to find a synopsis on Goodreads, cry in frustration? If it's a sequel that I'm really invested in, I will reread the previous book or books, because I don't want to waste that experience by not rereading. But if it's a book that I'm not that invested in, although I did say that I loved it, okay, portrait. If I'm not that bothered, then I probably would read blog posts about said book. Number 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? I'm very good at saying no. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, I don't really like lending my books out, so I'm well practiced at saying no. Sorry. But I thoroughly recommend that book. You should go to the library. Number 9. Reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? I think you should just pick up a book you've already read, and then you can do that half reading thing where you're half remembering and half reading. And especially if it's a book that you previously enjoyed, it's kind of a lazy way to read and reignite the reading passion. So just reread something and don't stress over it. I think reading slumps and writing slumps are often self-perpetuating. Like, being hyper-aware of it is not a good thing. Oh, hello again. That's great. Gate crashed my video once more. Number 10. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? In an ideal world, and in an ideal situation, obviously I'm traveling right now, so it's not ideal. In an ideal situation, I would buy all of them. In a more realistic situation, I would buy all the pretty ones. So the prettiest ones I would buy in hardback. The second tier of pretty ones I would buy in paperback, and the just not pretty ones I would get out of the library. I would borrow from friends, or I would just get on my Kindle. After you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? If it's a new release that I've recently bought, I'll probably get to it within a month. But if it's sort of a book that I've been curious about for ages, or a classic, I might not get to it for months, if not years. Sometimes you just collect a book because you want it in your collection, don't you? I am going to go inside because I'm pretty sure that the chromatics on this video are going to be very weird because of the sunset. But thank you very much for watching. I hope at some point, because I'm probably in Melbourne right now as you watch this, I hope that I can find a decent internet connection so that I can film more videos and we can get back to some kind of, well, there's no rhythm to get back to. Hopefully we can for once establish a rhythm and an uploading schedule. It's not a schedule, it's a schedule. I had to teach American English in Japan, and that's why it's just messed me up verbally. So, I already said thank you. I'm just gonna go now. Bye!